might come there and tell you a condition which is any story about oh, the world is finishing and we all doomed and stuff like this. Don't forget that whatever that person is saying may be right for himself, depending on the vibrational sequence this person is vibrating. That could be also a psychic or a channeler that is actually seeing a parallel reality, tuning into that because they're vibrating in that timeline. So you're tuning into something and you're seeing something else, but if it doesn't matter, they may see something that is happening into the collective, which is great. But if you don't know how to manipulate a structure, if you don't know anything about the structure, what's happening to you is literally getting into fear because you don't know the structure. And you end up tuning now into a sequence of reality that it has a negative outcome for you because you immediately dropped your energetic field into different reality that's tuning with fear, different sequence. So that's what the scary part is here. We may all talk about different stuff. The way I was saying, yes, there will be changes, there will collapse of monetary system, new stuff, but I'm not saying to you, oh my God, run for the mountains, and to create a fear. What I'm saying to you, be aware of the changes and stay constantly in a positive, watch positive, even if you do collapse of a system, implement it through, thank you for showing me what is happening. I understand the location of the sequence that I am. I'm a hologram and I know this is for the benefit of humanity, and you stop being the positive. Because what you're doing is starting to crystallize and tuning into the positive structures. Okay, that's what I'm saying to do. I'm not telling you how you should live, but I'm saying how the structure works. Because I cannot come to you and tell you how you should live your life. I have no right to interact with your energetic field like that. But I can say what is in the structure, how the structure works, and this is the tools. So why not use it?
You know, thank you so much for that. It actually answers a lot of the questions that I think I carry within in terms of how I should take direction in my life. Because what I see from this experience and from your feedback is that I don't have to get involved basically with anything and try to change anything. Not anything. I just simply have to accept it all completely and utterly.
What you're doing is you're changing yourself, because the reality is a projection of your own consciousness. It's a mirror image. When you see your reflection in the mirror, you don't go, when you want that mirror image to smile, do you smile first or the mirror image smile? You smile first in order the mirror image to smile. So that's how you implement anything in the reality. But if you smile now and say this is part of the process, if you need help, of course you involve yourself, and of course you put out of your heart and you do everything. That doesn't mean you just sit there and let people suffer, you know, right in front of you. If it's in front of you, obviously you have to be compassionate if you wish to, you know, if you wish to engage with that, if it's happening. Always give out of your heart, because if that's happening right in front of you, maybe you're there to help. But again, that's your choice.
Oh, I completely would always do that. What I mean is I don't have to try to change anything within my own psyche or my own life activity, because what I just did was completely embrace it with acceptance, and that made it perfect. You know, that completed everything, it seemed.
Yes, because then through synchronicity, everything will come perfectly accordingly to your vibration that you just gave off. Makes sense now, right?
That makes complete sense. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other questions? No questions. All right. Aram, you want to wrap it up, or how do you feel?
Yeah, I figured in the next 10 or 15 minutes, it's up to you, and if you feel like we're done. Does anybody have any questions or an experience they'd like to share? When we can talk about each other's experiences, it usually makes for a pretty good webinar where we can teach each other some things. Sure, Debbie.
Because then I'm getting more downloads, I explain it more. I mean, how much more we can talk about the structure, the same over thing. But when you have the experience and when you share and when you ask specific questions, as you see, we learn about the symphony of the structures. I didn't know that. I knew frequency, but they explain it through the symphony, how it's layers and layers and layers. That was very interesting. So if you guys interact, you have to ask in order the information to come in for us.
Go ahead, Debbie, and ask your question.
Hi, Debbie.
Oh, you're muted. Let me unmute you for you. There you go. Go ahead, Debbie. You're live. Or maybe not.
Debbie, sorry, we can't hear you.
There we go.
There you go.
Oh, perfect.
Right.
Yes.
Great to see you again. I
You
stayed
too,
up till.
sweetheart. How are you?
I stayed up. Great, thanks. Hey, look, my question is something that just popped into my mind again this week about events that have happened during my life where I may be in one country or a different state in Australia or in my home state of Adelaide. And I've had people walk up to me as if they know me, but they call me another name and they insist that I'm that person. And they said, oh, I'm so glad you're here. Like I was in Cairns in far north Queensland some years ago, and I went to walk into a bookshop and the lady who was at the front, she said, oh, hi, great to see you. And I thought, oh, wow, that's a lovely greeting. She said, Claire, I'm so glad you're here. Let me get you to work. And then I've had another lady, walking through the mall saying, hi, Anne. Oh, my gosh, it's Anne. Look, it's Anne, everybody. Oh, my God, Anne, how have you been? And I've been called lots of different names. And I just thought, how does this happen?
What they were telling me, you end up, you end up walking into your other parallel realities that you coexist.
Ah.
Because everything is simultaneous. Because they were so close to vibrational sequence, and you did it so perfectly because they were so close that you yourself didn't realize that you shifted to that, but that was also showing you what you can do. You can shift very quickly, very easily.
Right.
You also do time traveling too.
Yes, yeah.
That's why they said it's so easy for you to do that, but you already know that, they said.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it was just one of those things like I'd just forgotten about it happening, and then it just came, bam, just.
You can tune in. It's very good. You can bilocate too. Do you know that?
Yeah, I did it. I was actually on a nursing placement a month or so ago, and one of the nurses saw me sitting in the nurses' station. And she turned around to speak to me, and I was up the corridor, and she said, how did you get there?
Yeah, you bilocate and you don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, try to control that. You can practice more, but this time try to recall. They said recall the vibration of the place that you want to be. If you've been in that place, for example, I want you to recall the emotion of the place.
Yeah.
In your consciousness, and try to tune in with that so you can recognize the structure, the frequency of it.
Yeah, okay, that's an interesting explain.
Reality, you're not going to the same place, you're recreating an image of the same place.
Ah, yeah.
You understand? Yourself 2 minutes ago, or maybe you went to England and you saw a picture of that, and you're making a new picture for yourself of the same image that you remember.
Right.
That makes sense?
Right. Yeah.
That's how the quantum field works. That's how we're shifting. We're actually not shifting to all time. We're recreating a new stuff. But they're so similar in frequency that it look like
the same surroundings.
Reality is not the same surrounding. It's completely brand new earth.
Yeah,
but it mimic everything in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
One quick question that's bothers me, every time I go onto a nursing placement, I have encountered bullying and conflict. To do that, I just wonder, in tears, walking away and saying, I can't deal with this. Is that just an unresolved issue that I have?
It's a memory.
Ah.
It's a memory. They said lifetime memory. With that. If you go to a regression, you will know a lot more into that.
Right. Okay, that's something I might consider then. Yeah.
That if you want to clean this out, but yet you're the construction, you're the structure, you can let go. When you, I can give you the tool how to do that, because it doesn't matter what you've been through. Since we know the tools now, you can control it now. So when you feel that to cry, for example, to get very emotional, this is exactly that's the moment now, and I want you to understand and say, thank you for showing me that this was part of my whatever happened to me. So now I want you to put only positive thinking, completely gratitude for everything you have around, and now put the emotion of completely positive, and now start smiling, and moment to moment you do only positive stuff. This is exactly the stuff that we have to learn to do. That's how you shifting. That's how you recreating now the structure and the new plasma. It's fundamental. I was taught this over and over and over again. We have to learn to control exactly that, because the emotion is that frequency. The emotion is that sequence. And the tool is, the whole goal here is to shift it. Find out, okay, somebody did that to you and somebody will do this to you. The point is here for you to do it. You're the vessel. You can release yourself of all that.
Yep.
Okay? Try that. If it's important to you to go and have a regression and to see what really happened, or maybe somebody's trying to do, more than welcome to do that too. But I'm giving you the tools, the way they did, so you can do that yourself. At least try to do that yourself. Remember, every moment to moment we're shifting from one reality to another reality, and this reality has nothing to do with the new one. Let go of something that has nothing to do with you, because you reconstruct it. Why this keep happening? Why is this keep happening to me is because you keep tuning and bringing the same emotion into it, the same frequency into it. So the only thing the structure can do, since you are the structure, is to mimic it. How important that is. You mimicking the structure. Because why? Because you're the structure. Makes sense, right?
That's we have very one clear. More question.
One more question. Thank you, Debbie.
Thanks, Deb.
Thanks, Marina.
T was asking if the Council of Nine has given you any information today or maybe before about habitation of other planets. Specifically, she mentioned Mars.
Mars. I've heard a lot about Mars. With us, there were negative structures there. They will continue. Negative structures there, and they're saying that we do not wish to tune into very big details, but what they're saying that you're gonna see a lot of information coming up in the surface about it, and the people that were doing it will be, they said, let it just put it this way, humanity will know who they are. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome. One thing that I want to mention here. The last message from the 11 dimensional beings was about the fact that they were asking everybody that is the light workers from the planet to continue doing their work because it's by agreements. And they were also asking the people that end up going under the negative side to completely start, for them to know that they have the chance to start doing positive stuff now, because it's going to be giving the chance to them to start doing only positive. And how they were going to be doing that, because they know that every single person, that most of them that went into the negative and start serving the negative side, a lot of these people were manipulated, the whole family was manipulated, or even if they didn't know, they end up in a situation that was all about humanity, and you understand that somebody has been using you. So you cannot deny for consciousness like this to be able, some of them have so much fear. So what they were saying, to stop having the fear that is all going to be forgiven, and for these ones that all of a sudden decide to get out of it and do something incredible for humanity, they will basically be forgiven. And what the Council of Nine and the Higher Consciousness will do for these people was that they will literally give them a timeline of reality that is between ascension process, so they will be able to redeem, regenerate, and rebuild and help humanity. And they, I'm quoting, they also said that the hologram, one hologram is going to be extracted out of their consciousness, and brand new hologram is going to be implemented into their consciousness, so they will truly know that they're being forgiven. So my point is here, it doesn't matter what somebody did, how they did it, we all we did before, just be moment to moment ability. The best love, because that's how you're gonna get to this point. Okay? This message is on YouTube. It's I think again Marina Jacobi, and it was the latest message that I posted. You know, and Leanne is just saying thank you, you know, and I'm sorry that you know, we didn't have a session, you know, the webinar with her today. We're gonna see her perhaps in 2 weeks when everything is okay. She had a great information of you know, encounters through her life. That was interesting stories she has, and you guys have a good time. Enough
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
T,
Thank
I'm
you
so
very much.
sorry that I'm not getting more for Mars, but I have to tell you that was a lot of negative stuff happened there. Okay, and when it's negative structures, the Council of Night is not really wishing to tune in, and I've noticed that through all my sessions. If anybody has something in the negative side, they will basically block it, not wish to discuss it.
Okay. Well, I guess we should wrap it up. You guys, as I wrote there, we're going to be back in 2 weeks on October 1st, and hopefully Dolly Indigo Star will be joining us. We have to fix the technical difficulties, and she'll be with us then. And you can go to marinajacobi.com, and you can see much more about Marina, and even juicing, right? You have your juicing videos on YouTube, right?
Stuff. Don't forget to do that with the water we talk about. You know, it's really good. Hopefully it's gonna work for you guys the way it worked for me. And if you book a session, I can give it individual, you know, but I cannot say it this way. And I say, why is individual? Because everybody is vibrating in a different structure, you know. But what I gave you is general for everybody to be in a healthy state. And what we're doing, we're just crystallizing the water, because the water is a conductor. It is a conductor, goes to every single structure of your body, and it's rejuvenating everything. And if you go into a juicing diet, only juices or juicing organic and raw in 6 months, you're going to absolutely rebuild in your body. Okay. You're gonna also tremendously. But one bylaw I want to tell you before we finish: you can't think of something and say another, because the mind and the thoughts has to be one unit. Because if you say one thing and do another, you're splitting up the realities, you're mixing up the energetic fields, and the consciousness itself is going to give you something that may not be positive outcome for you, just because it's trying to mimic whatever you don't wish to have or wish to have. So sometimes you may not want to see somebody, but you say to that person, "Oh," and you make a so-called white lie. There's no such thing like a white lie. Energy is energy, is not biased. Because you really don't want to see the person, but you said something different, you end up, the person may have a car accident, or you end up getting a car accident. Why? Because you end up putting condition in the structure that you don't want to see the person, so know what the structure is doing, giving you back through synchronicity, which you don't know how to stop that process. Okay, so if you don't want anything like that, be honest, and you can say to anybody something in a nice way, polite way, so you don't hurt their feelings or something, but never ever say one thing and say another, because that's what is happening. And more importantly, the energy of the planet increased so much that right now, whoever is vibrating in these structures, everything comes to a fruition very quickly, sometimes simultaneously. You're gonna turn around, is there. So don't be surprised if you do something like this, you turn around and bump your head in a wall. Okay? Happened to me, and I almost broke my finger. How they taught me, so you know how I've learned. My finger